Hey OutSystems developers, Russell Youngblood, Senior Solution Architect at OutSystems, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build a brand new web application for capturing and managing insurance sales leads. More specifically, I'll be using Mentor, part of the Agentic Systems Engineering toolset, to vibe code this application from ground up, all while ensuring it follows our corporate look and feel. Now to do that, I'm going to start by creating the theme directly in OutSystems ODC, and then I'll apply that theme as I leverage Mentor to do the heavy lifting. Every step in this video is designed so that you can follow along and build your own application. However, before you get started, it's important to review the prompts for Mentor web section of the Agentic Development documentation. The section that I would like you to focus on here is the theme compatibility requirements. Note that when you're building your theme must have the layout block property set in ODC Studio, and that layout must include the placeholders for the header, breadcrumbs, title, actions, and the main content for all of your application pages. As I build the theme, I'll show you how to add these components to your layout, and you can also find a link to this documentation in the description of this video. You'll also want to have a few corporate logo images which you can get from your corporate marketing department or brand style guide. And to make sure these images are optimized for the web, you can use your own favorite image editor, or you can use Squish, which is a free open source project run by the Google Chrome Labs team. This app allows you to optimize, compress, and compare images with different codecs directly in the browser. Another tool I like to have handy is a full swatch color palette theme that has all of the corporate colors and hexadecimal values ready for reference. Here you can see the corporate color theme for this app in Adobe Express, but you can also generate something like this with your favorite AI solution. Let's go ahead and get started working on our corporate theme in ODC Studio. In ODC Studio, simply click the Create button and create a library item. Now, library items are shareable components. They can manage UI components of your applications and other logic. What I'll do is give it a name, the SG Insurance Theme Library. Create that library, and then you can see here under Interface we've got the UI flows, and we'll be working under the flows, images, and themes. For the next step, what I'll do is just right-click on images, and we're going to browse to the folder with the images that we've created. I'm going to import the logo image. We've got another image that can serve as the icon for the application, and then also a background that we're going to add to the login screen. So these are the three basic images I'll need, and now we'll start to work on the flows. For this application, we're going to build out two different UI flows. The first one will be named Common, and that will house some of the more common elements for the login screens. And then the second will be named Layouts, and this is where we will build a basic layout for the application screens. For the next step, what we'll do is we will work underneath the common UI flow, and we'll add a block. Blocks are reusable components in OutSystems. The first one, we'll give it the name application title, and then for the second block, we will give it the name menu icon, and these will be combined to build the top menu bar in our app. And now let's go ahead and build the final block under the Layouts UI flow. We will give this block the name Layout Top Menu, and this will be the layout for the actual screen that will house the application title and menu. Okay, before we go any further, what I'd like to do real quick is search the public elements for the OutSystems UI theme. And here we can find that theme framework. We'll go ahead and check to add everything to our application. We might not necessarily need everything here, but I'm going to go ahead and add it, and then we can create our local theme, and that local theme will utilize the OutSystems UI theme. So first we'll give it a name. I'm going to call it SG Life POC. Just check and make sure that the public element property is set for yes, and we'll set the base theme to the OutSystems UI theme. Going to make a couple of changes down here. I'll change the icon library to Font Awesome, and then set the grid to a fluid layout. We'll adjust the minimum and maximum width here as well. And so that looks pretty good. What we can do now is we can go ahead and set the CSS for the theme. So here you can double click on the new theme and then open up the window, and immediately you can see that the OutSystems UI theme has been applied as the base. We can also work visually. You can see the theme editor here. We can add background colors, background images, adjust colors. We can do all of that visually, but in this case I do have some CSS that's been crafted for this application. I have it on a notepad. I'm going to copy that and paste it over to the window, and as I scroll up you can see my different corporate colors have been applied for the root variables, and a number of styles have been set in this CSS document. So now we can go back up to our application title and begin to work. So with the CSS set and my knowledge of that, I can go ahead and begin to add containers to the application title. We'll add some classes to those containers, and then what I'll finally do is make sure that the height is set for that container at 100%, and then I can go ahead and add the corporate logo image. So the one I'm looking for is the logo on the transparent background. So I'll drag and drop that. We'll make an adjustment to the height on that image, and you might have to test this out in the browser a couple of times as you add this to your applications, but this should work pretty good. And now I can move on over and start to work on the menu icon section. So for the menu icon, we have the block, and we're going to go ahead and add a container. I'll do it a little bit differently this time. I'll just right click, add the container, and immediately give it the style class menu icon. And then what I'll do is I'm going to paste in a couple of containers that I already have prepared, and they're styled up so that they have a layout with a fill color of black, and that makes it look like a hamburger icon. Now you could of course use an icon for that if you'd like to. In this case I'm keeping it lean with just some containers and color, and we're all set up now. We have our application title with the logo and then the menu icon, and we're ready for the layout. So when it comes to the main screen layout, here we have the layout top menu block that we created earlier, and I took the liberty of jumping ahead a little bit in this tutorial because this is as simple as adding containers and placeholders to the block. So you can see here in the top I've already added a header, and within that header there's a container. Within the container there's the two blocks that we just created earlier. But what I want you to focus on here is that I have these placeholders for the header, and then I also have placeholders for the footer. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste in a main container wrapper, and you can see that I have the title, actions, and these are the placeholders that were referenced in the documentation earlier. So you must have all of these as part of your components in your library theme for this to work. So at this point you have all of the basic necessities that you need for your theme to work with the Mentor system. However, you can continue to be creative here, and you can add different layouts, you can add different blocks, and then also actions and any added functionality that you feel necessary for your theme to work. Now remember, in the OutSystems platform, themes can be applied to multiple applications, so this one theme can be applied to all the corporate applications, and then applications can also have more than one theme applied. So if you're ready, go ahead and click the publish button and we'll publish our theme. Okay, now that our library has been published and released and it includes the theme, we can go into the ODC portal and we can work with Mentor to create this application. Now, it is important to note that I am not starting from scratch. I do have a Word document. It's a business requirements document that has the functional and non-functional requirements for this application. So lots of detail here, like what tables that I might need, what roles, maybe use cases, the purpose of the application. But at the end of the day, this is a basic sales lead tracking application. So I'm going to utilize this business requirements document and click the create button, choose Mentor to create this application, and then I can start my enterprise vibe coding conversation. What I'll do is upload this business requirements document, and I'll ask Mentor to go ahead and create the blueprint based on this document for this web application. So it's going to think for a few minutes, and it will start to design the blueprint for this application. You can see here the different screens that it would like to create, all of the tables. We have the roles listed here, and then even some information as far as workflow is concerned. Now remember, we did a lot of work just a few seconds ago on a theme, so I want to remember to go ahead and apply the theme to this application. So I will ask Mentor to search for that theme, which is embedded in that library, a shared object in the environment, and add that theme to this application. So Mentor will consider that request. Sure enough, pretty quickly it confirms that it can apply the theme that I just created to this application. So that's good news. It found the theme. What that means is we followed the documentation. We have the correct objects in there that we need so that it can find it. If I like the model that I see here, I can go ahead and click the Generate button, and Mentor will begin to generate this application and create another visual blueprint that I can adjust. So in the second stage, Mentor will open this application in the app editor, and I can continue to make changes. For example, if I'd like to change the name of the application, I can do that here. I can also upload a new icon for the application. I can change that real quick, and then if I'd like to, I can continue with the vibe coding mechanism and have a conversation to make some adjustments, or I can change anything over here on the right hand side under app details. When I'm ready and I have what I need, I'll click the publish button to publish the application. Once the application is published, then we can preview it, go ahead and log in, and we can already see that the theme has certainly been applied. We have a really nice dashboard here with lots of information for tracking our sales leads. Along the top, you can see our menu. We have one section for leads, prospects, activities, lots of great information here, and really an application that can be used as a great starting point for an enterprise insurance lead tracking application.